All right, it is 3:02 p.m. I'd like to call this meeting of the Economic Development Corporation to order. Blanca, if you don't mind doing roll call and establish quorum, please.
Hiren Govan, President.
Present.
Roland Gomez, Vice President. Veronica Gonzalez, Secretary. Aaron Ronnie Rivera, Treasurer. Daniel Dan Diaz, Council Member.
Present.
Sabrina Walker Hernandez, Director. Raul Resendez, Director.
Present.
And we have quorum.
Excellent. And if you don't mind certifying public notice.
The notice was posted in accordance with the Texas Open Meetings Act on April 22nd at 3:34 p.m.
All right. And before we do our disclosure, I'd like to add one item. The Pledge of Allegiance, it was accidentally left off. If y'all don't mind standing. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Thank you, everyone. All right. Omar, if you don't mind explaining the conflict of interest.
Under state law, a conflict of interest exists if a board member or certain members of that board member's family has a qualifying financial interest in an agenda item. If there is a conflict of interest, the member can't participate or vote on the item. Are there any conflicts of interest to disclose at this time?
No, at this time.
Thank you.
Thank you, everyone. All right. Moving on to public comments. Is there anybody in the audience or on Zoom that would like to speak on any topic?
Yes, we do have two public comments. The first one is Mr. Salvador Valle. He's here to discuss the mortgage assistance fair. There is a flyer in front of you, so he'll go ahead and explain what the mortgage assistance fair is about.
Excellent. How you doing, sir?
I work for Endeavors, a nonprofit organization who was given a grant through the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs. And with that grant, they established TMAP, which is Texas Emergency Mortgage Assistance Program. And the purpose is to be able to put the information out. We have a short timeline right now. We started in July with the grant, but we haven't received very many clients from this area and the outlining areas on that region on the map that's shown on there. And we're able to pay 6 months of back pay and up to June of future payments as long as the individuals qualify. Some of the qualifications are if they were affected by COVID, financially affected by COVID, live in the home, they're a homeowner, and they live in that region. So as long as those criteria are met, they can apply either online at the website that's listed on there, www.endeavors.org/TMAP, or they can go in person. We're going to be going down to Brownsville, United Way on the 28th, and then the 29th we're going to be at Loaves and Fishes in Harlingen, and we'll just do a quick intake on the individuals and get it started. It usually takes about 2 weeks to process everything, but there is a pretty strict timeline just because we're coming near the end of the grant. Are there any questions?
In public comments, we normally don't
Okay.
address the individuals.
Okay, sir.
However, I can make the exception on this one because I thought it was an agenda item, not a public comment.
Yeah, the presenter didn't confirm attendance until yesterday,
Okay.
so we made an accommodation for public comment.
All right. Because originally it was an agenda item. Do y'all have any questions or comments?
Just for staff, I think this is a program, maybe we should do a PSA on the EDC website, get it out to the people. That's all I have.
All right, thank you so much.
No problem. Thank you, sir. You said we had one more, Blanca?
Yes, we have Ms. Veronica Ortega from the Small Business Administration.
Good afternoon.
Afternoon, ma'am.
My name is Veronica Ortega. I'm an Economic Development Specialist with the Small Business Administration. Our office is located in Harlingen, Texas, and as a government agency, every year we have a National Small Business Week. And during this week, we recognize different small businesses within our 14 county coverage area in different categories. And we usually recognize these small businesses through nominations from different resource partners in our community, whether it's chambers of commerces, EDCs, our resource partners. And so this was our very first year that we actually had nominations from the Edinburg EDC, and we actually had 2 winners that we're going to recognize next Tuesday at our National Small Business Week event. So I just wanted to recognize those 2 winners from the city of Edinburg, and that is Vera's King of Meats, who won under the category of family-owned business. And under that category, it's a business that has been in business at least 15 years and has been passed down from one generation to the next. And then the second winner in this year was the home-based business of the year. And that is one that is home-based, and that is Jackson Pest Control. So I just wanted to recognize those 2 businesses that won this year from Edinburg.
Excellent. And they're here, and we're going to take a picture, correct?
Yes, we're
All right.
here to, we can invite them over to the front.
We'd love to take a picture with y'all.
And yeah, we can invite the board to take a photo.
Jackson, congratulations.
Nice to finally meet you. I've locked that way, ma'am. Thank you for coming. Thank you. Congratulations, ma'am. I saw you guys on the
Congratulations.
All of us.
Give you a regards.
Congratulations again. All right. Blanca, do we have any more individuals who signed up for public comments?
No.
No. All right. Closing public comments. Moving on to director's reports.
Yes, so as per the bylaws of the EDC, staff is required to update the board on their mid-year progress. So a one-pager was provided with outcomes for starting October 2021 to March 2022. And I'll quickly review the one-pager and the outcomes. As you are aware, we've been working through the SPARK program with the ARPA funds, and we did do a COVID-19 response. We had $930,000 in grants awarded to 465 small, locally owned businesses, which was a highlight, and we are proud to know that Vera's King Meats and Jackson's Pest Control were recipients of SPARK as well. We had $1 million in new customer expenditures through the gift card program, and $176,200 in grants awarded to 88 home-based, locally owned businesses. And again, the Jackson Pest Control was one of those home-based businesses. And we did have 85 facade improvement program applicants be pre-approved. So we're currently in the middle of that. So we do have 3 completed programs. They've submitted their documentation for the facade improvements, and we've had 3 of them completed. For workforce development, we did host an Employer RGV job fair in October 2021. We had 118 employers that were present, and as per Workforce Solutions, that has been the largest job fair held in the RGV. We did have 589 job seekers attend the job fair, and 421 interviews scheduled, and 181 potential job offers, that were conducted. And for workforce training, we did support the Health Sciences Institute at Renaissance, HSIR. We did sponsor and support 4 students who completed the Medical Assistant Certification Program. We did recognize them back in December when they graduated and completed their program. 2 students currently are working as medical assistants, and 2 of the students continued their education in healthcare. So that's great to know that they've used the program to further advance their healthcare education. For our Business Retention and Expansion Reaching Out program, we've hosted 15 meetings with local businesses and 3 business meetings with tours, where some of our board members have attended and have joined us to visit with our small businesses. And through these meetings, we've been able to acknowledge 4 expansion projects that they have communicated to staff, and we're currently working with 4 of the businesses to ensure that they get the assistance that they need. Active projects, we have 42 jobs that are created or retained, and these are projected numbers, and $4 million in capital investment, which is also projected. Our developing projects, these are projects that are underway, 619 jobs that are created and retained, which are also projected, $234 million in capital invested, that's also projected. For retail and restaurant leads, we've been able to email, call, and meet with 37 restaurant contacts and 33 retail contacts. For requests for information, these are the proposals that are sent to the state. We were able to submit 11 of those in the 6 months, and we're still continuing to submit them. Our downtown revitalization projects, the EDC board and staff were able to work on the promenade bond projects. The ACE bond project, which is $7 million, the design phase has been completed for that. And our parking garage, which is a $2 million bond, the design phase has started for that. And that concludes my mid-year report. Do you have any questions?
Blanca, on the facade improvement programs, is there a timeline that the businesses have to complete it?
Yes, I'm going to talk about it a little bit more in the regular department report, but yes, there is a timeline. We've met with all 85 businesses that have been pre-approved with the pre-development services group and our staff, but we do have a deadline of May 6th to submit their building permits, and that will ensure that planning and zoning and building can review all the information, so then they can start their project on time and complete it on time as well.
So is there a timeline for completion?
December.
They have to
I'm
finish it
sorry,
by-
October 1st, and they have until December to submit all of their documentation.
Okay. And then the only other comment I have is on the parking garage. I see the design phase. I know initially we spoke about, and we talked about this on the city side, but it was planned for 3 stories, but we talked about making sure the foundation was going to support double that.
Yes, I can have Mr. Tom Reyna, our Assistant City Manager, talk a little bit more on that, but I do believe that they're working on doubling that, as you mentioned, making it a 6-story for future. The 3 stories for now, and then doing the 3 additional for the future. But Mr. Tom Reyna can probably speak more on that.
Okay, thank you. That's all I have. Please continue.
Okay, I'll move on to the regular department report. So key things to mention, as discussed in public comment, the SBA Lower Rio Grande 2022 Small Business Week Awards are happening The first week of May, May 1st to the 7th. And we were fortunate enough to nominate and be recognized to have two businesses, our family-owned Small Business of the Year, Vera's Kingo Meats, and Home-Based Business of the Year, Jackson Pest Control. So they will be recognized by the SBA, and the RGB Partnership will be hosting a luncheon on May 3rd at Rancho Viejo, as mentioned by Ms. Veronica Ortega. We just want to ensure that they're recognized by the EDC Board and City Council. We are presenting a Small Business Week proclamation in the next council meeting on May 3rd. Just recognizing that May 1st to the 7th is National Small Business Week, and we will invite them again to take a photo, and we invite the board as well to be present for that under the proclamations items. Along with that, we also are including another proclamation for Economic Development Week. That will be the week after, May 9th to the 13th. And we just want to ensure that our board is present and City Council are present as well for a photo, so we can recognize Economic Development Week. So May 1st through the 7th, Small Business Week, and then May 9th through the 13th is Economic Development Week. And during the Economic Development Week, we'll be featuring a campaign, a Made in Edinburg campaign or Hecho in Edinburg campaign. We will have an Elements of Business Planning workshop where we're partnering with the UTRGV and the Small Business Administration along with the Chamber of Commerce. And then we will have an Edinburg EDC mixer on Wednesday. That invite has been sent out to the board and council. And then we will have a series of videos recognizing the board and the vision for economic development for the next couple of years.
On that, Ms. Ortega, so Edinburg had never submitted any businesses? And great.
And two got it, yes.
Well, kudos to staff for doing that, and thank you to the SBA for recognizing our businesses, ma'am. On the May 3rd at the Rancho Viejo is the function. What time is that at?
At 11.
11 a.m.
Mm-hmm. It's at 11 to 1 p.m.
Okay.
in Rancho Viejo.
I'm only asking because I know we have a city council meeting that day.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, that'll be in the midday, and then in the evening, early evening will be City Council.
Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Ortega.
And we did provide some unemployment data for your information. We did include the City of Edinburg, the county unemployment data, and also the Texas, so you can see how Edinburg is doing. We are at 4.8 unemployment rate for March 2022. We do want to share, we've included this piece on new commercial establishments and additions. We've been communicating closely with planning and zoning and just the development services departments. So we included a list of all the commercial businesses that have received a certificate of occupancy and have submitted building permits for additions, repairs, and or remodels. And several of these businesses have been working with the economic development team very closely. So we have an update for that in executive. And then for our projects, MVLE RGB Tours will have a groundbreaking ceremony this Friday at 10 a.m. April 29th at 10 a.m. And that invite was sent to the EDC board, and it's also included towards the end of the presentation. It's this one. And it'll be at the North Industrial Park. Siddons Martin Emergency Group, their property closed on March 28th, 2022, and a groundbreaking is tentative for May 2022. We're working closely with the Development Services and Siddons Martin to ensure that their permits are going well and promptly, so we can have a groundbreaking scheduled soon for that. As always, we include our prospects. We have about 31 prospects, where we talk to on the daily. We talk to businesses that are looking to expand to Edinburg, relocate to Edinburg, or be a completely new business in Edinburg. And these are conversations that we have periodically that are new conversations, that are follow-ups, and then eventually turn into an official intake process form, which I'll talk a little bit more in executive. For the retail development, the main thing that we're working on right now is ICSC conference in Las Vegas. We are working on reaching out to brokers, developers, and prospects to ensure we have some scheduled meetings at the conference. We will have a 200 square foot booth at the conference. The booth number is 2488 at Central Hall. So if you know of anyone that would want to visit, please let me know and we can reach out to them so we can schedule a meeting. And we will be updating the board on the plan during the time at the conference. It is going to be a large group and we'll probably have to break out in different groups. So I'll have all that broken down for you. And we'll update you possibly on May 4th or tentatively May 4th or a different date, but before ICSC. Reaching out, we did have two meetings, International Paper Company and El Dorado Pallets. And our third meeting was at the South Texas International Airport, where we met with the advisory board at the airport, and Ms. Sabrina Walker and President Hiren Govin attended the meeting as well to discuss private and public opportunities for investment at the airport. We thank all of the advisory board members that attended, and obviously Sabrina and Mr. Hiren Govin, thank you for participating in that. We do have a couple more board visits with the CBP RGV sector, Don Hugo Produce, and Melhart. That's coming up. For programs, we have a quick highlight on our newsletter, our Google Analytics, our social media report. We did have some good highlights on there for photos. Our ribbon cutting for Mackay Polk House, Little Bear Produce visit, which Council and EDC attended, and the Bagley Produce Business Library video. We shared that video that we're starting to highlight different businesses. That was a hit as well. Some stats on Instagram, Twitter, and LinkedIn. A quick update on the student paid internship program. We are continuing to work with Workforce Solutions, UTRGV, ECISD, and the EDC staff to work on the paid internship program. So hopefully within the next month or 2 months, the working group can come and provide an update to the board and see where we're at with the paid internship program. We do have a request for information that we submitted. Those are ongoing. Sometimes we submit 3 or 4, sometimes we submit 1, like in this instance. And the Spark 3.0 update, this is where the deadline is on May 6th for the building permits. We have met with all the pre-approved applicants for the facade program, and they do have a May 6th deadline to submit the building permit. They have until October to complete the program, and then they can submit all their documentations, and the cutoff date for that is December of this year.
So on May 6th, anybody who hasn't submitted gets dropped off when we start going on to the people that are over the limit?
That is something that we would discuss with leadership, with our city manager. I mean, we do have a deadline and we want to ensure that we keep that deadline, but we'll have to check in to see if we'll have to visit that remaining list or if we're going to move on with the program.
Because Blanca, there is a standby list, right? Folks who are...
There is a waiting list that we have. We have one for the home-based and we have one for the facade, and that was just in case there were any more available funds that would come down of the pipeline from the federal government, and we would create another program. They were on the list. We have their contact information, but that's just to ensure that we have their contact.
So what happens if the funds do not get used based on someone not submitting and there's a balance or whatever it may be? What happens to those funds?
Those updates are presented to council in the council meetings, and they decide what is done with the monies, or if it's reallocated, or if they want to create a different program, or if they want to keep this program. It would have to come from council.
Anybody have any questions or comments? One thing that I know you'll like, Dan, is that Blanca tweeted out today to Elon Musk to bring Twitter to Texas,
There we
to
go.
Edinburg. I saw the tweet. Excellent. If y'all see it, please retweet it.
Good job, guys.
And then just so you know, the invites for the groundbreaking, the elements of business planning, and the mixer invites are attached to your packet as well. And then just as an FYI, we included the TERS 1, 3, and 4 for your knowledge, just images for you. And that concludes my reports. Thank you.
Anybody have any more questions or comments? No. Thank you, Blanca. Moving on to regular agenda item A, consider excusing the absence of Director Sabrina Walker for March 28th, 2022 meeting.
Motion to approve the excuse of absence.
I second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Agenda item B, consider the approval of the minutes for the board meeting on March 28th, 2022. If y'all all had a chance to review them, I'll entertain a motion.
Motion to approve the minutes as stated.
Second.
All in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Consider the approval of the financial report for the second quarter of January 2022 through March 2022. I believe Dago's going to be presenting on this. Thank you. It's updated. Okay.
Thank you.
Good afternoon. Dago Soto, Director of Finance, City of Edinburg. Okay, for the second quarter financials, as we did last time, we'll go over briefly the balance sheet. Here, the balance sheet, income statement, which is we'll cover the budget versus actual, and a summary of our cash balances, and a quick review of our sales tax collection. Okay, so for our balance sheet, you'll see here we have total assets of 57 million, current liabilities of 2.6 million, which is a fund balance of 55, with an unrestricted fund balance of 4.9, just shy of 5 million, which is very healthy for this corporation. I don't know, just working. You have a problem with this? You have control of it? All right. Okay. Okay, so here is a monthly budget activity report. What I want to show here is budget versus actual. We'll go ahead and start with our revenues. The main one, of course, is our sales tax. Now, you'll see that this is a mid-year, but the way we recognize sales tax revenue, we only have up to February. So we're only showing five months worth of revenue, and even at that point, we're already at 44% of our target. Interest earned is going up. Rates are going up, so you should probably see our projection to be more than what the budget is. So those two items are looking very, very good. Okay. Now for the expenditures, we have them categorized by admin services, programs, properties. You'll see that all of them are within budget and all under 50% of our target. And with our debt service, okay, on the next page, we are at 63%. Now that's a little bit higher than the target of 50%, and that's because these are semi-annual payments, and usually the principal portion is usually paid in the first payment. So that's why you'll see that we're at 63%, but we are according to schedule. So you'll see and if you might want to refer to this page I gave you. The year-to-date revenues over expenditures is under 418,000, but again, that's no cause to worry. We're only recognizing 5 months of sales tax revenue, which would have put that in above as a net income. And of course, our debt service was a little bit higher at this point of the year, which is of course according to schedule. And right below that is just a summary of 2 bond projects, remaining budget and year to date.
So with the Capable Kids Beethoven being completed, was that payment made in March?
So according to this report, the last 2 payments, as far as again as of March, there was those payments in January and February. I don't know if there's a remaining payment. Might have reflected in April, but
I just see that the balance is still at 87 at 40,000, but yet left over, showing it 87% completion.
yeah, if there's no more payments after, I guess, what we have here in February, that's probably,
Yeah, that's the remaining 40,000.
It's still
Is
owed.
that the balance or is it old, I guess is the question.
That's the balance. Yeah, they're getting ready to close it out, so I'll confirm with Tom if they need to pay that out, the remaining 40,000. But from what I understand, that was it. They were a little bit under budget. Mhm.
Okay, excellent. All right.
okay. Okay, and then on the next page, is a summary, a one-page summary of our cash balances. And so the way we're showing this is, of course, we'll show what the balance were at the beginning of the fiscal year, the net first quarter activity, and then you'll see the net monthly changes for the second quarter, January through March, which you'll see what the second quarter net activity is and how we arrive at our ending balance. So we are ending our cash balance at 42.9 million. And of course, this is broken down by functions and purposes. If there are any questions you have concerning these balances, feel free to answer those. Okay. And the last one I want to show is our sales tax analysis. So as I mentioned earlier, we recognize we have a GAAP basis, generally accepted accounting principles, which we recognize revenue in the month it's incurred. And so our latest one, what we received in April, the deposit received in April, of course, reflects what happened in the month of February. So you'll see with 5 months in, we are currently 15% higher as we were at this point last year, 444,000. And at the track we're going, we should surpass, even if we will have even if you would project a 0% growth for the remaining of the fiscal year, we will go above what we originally budgeted. So as far as sales tax and the economic growth of the city is looking very, very good. So it's going on a positive note. Any questions?
On the Capable Kids, if we do have that overage, and it's a bond, I know it has certain items that we have to spend it on. So if we can ask Tom or the bond counsel on where it needs to go or where it can be spent.
Yeah. If there's leftover funds, then it could be reallocated, repurposed according to what the general bond was for. And yeah, we could put it towards something or fund towards something else. That's all
I had a
have.
question on the rental income, that includes Santana Textiles, right? Is that why at the end it comes out as a negative? Is that part of the rental income?
So the rental income is for our tenants at 1710 South 28th. We have 4 tenants, and then we also have our South Texas Welding School tenant. So that's what the money reflects. They're paying rent to the EDC.
Where is the Santana on our financials?
As far as what is owed to us, it is,
No, but how is it reported? How is it reflected in our financials?
it is, okay, go up. It is shown in our notes on our balance sheet,
Debt service?
and our balance sheet on the note receivable. Net of allowance. I think there's an allowance method that auditors had suggested, meaning,
The 12,083,000?
yeah. That's net, so it's I think about 14 million. But per our last audit, the allowance to, an estimate of more or less what you might receive, I think they reduced it 2% just to make sure that the balance sheet is reflecting as best it can. And then with some late fees, I believe anything past 90 days is considered uncollectible. So what you see here, that 12 million is a good estimate of the net of what Santana owes.
Okay.
Or that we might, that estimate of what we might receive, correct?
Okay.
Might receive.
Thank you.
Anybody have any more questions for Doug? Thank you. I'll entertain a motion for approval of the financial report.
That's so moved.
Motion. Second. All in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Moving on to agenda item D, consider the approval of the mid-year budget amendment for fiscal year 2022. Blanca, are you going to be presenting this one?
Yes, I'm just going to pull it up here. Screen. Okay. So in your packet and on the screen, you can see the fiscal year 2022 approved budget on the left-hand column, and then on the right-hand column, you can see the fiscal year 2022 amended, which is proposed to the board. There are a couple of items that were adjusted, including under the administrative services, professional services. We've added about $40,000 more to do have available funds for professional services such as engineering, different types of surveys, appraisals, things like that would go under this line item. The other item that we've included is memberships. This will serve the purpose to have to include memberships for the board for things like ICSC memberships or other types of associations for the board. So we've included $25,000 for that. And then moving on down to the EDC programs, properties and projects, what we've said we were going to amend was the sponsorship and donations line item. We've added about $50,000 more to that to make it a $100,000 line item. As you know, we've expensed about half of it the first 6 months, so we are adjusting it to add $50,000 more for the next 6 months. The other item that we've adjusted was the property taxes. We did pay the green cold delinquent taxes this year, and that was not budgeted for, so we went ahead and replenished that with $230,293. And then the purchase of property was decreased a little bit to ensure that we were able to pay property taxes and other line items here. And then the utilities item, we had originally budgeted $20,000 because that was what we had expensed the previous year. But as we've seen, we only have one building, which is the 1710, that we pay utilities for, and we only pay water and electricity for the offices in the front, not the warehouses. Our tenants pay the utility bills. So we are budgeting about $4,000, $5,000 there for under utilities, and those are the major changes to the budget.
What about the research?
Research. So we pulled some money from there under the research to include under the professional services. And we did leave some money, $65,000, in case we need more platforms like Buxton. Buxton comes out of this line item. Other data tools that we have that our assistant city manager and myself and staff use come from this line item for data purposes.
Okay, that's what I need.
I'd like to make one comment on these adjustments. Can we round them to the nearest thousand? Round them up to the nearest thousand? Just so it's cleaner and easier?
To the whole number?
Yes.
What it looks like.
Yeah, to the next nearest thousand.
Yes. And then just one note, just so you know, for the arena bond shortage, that's on the next page under debt service. Every year we budget about $1 million, and this year we paid $780,418 on the arena bond shortage. So that was adjusted.
That's good. Hopefully it gets to zero. Anybody else have any questions or comments? On the motion, Omar, do we need to add round to the nearest thousand, or just?
What action are you contemplating taking?
Approving it, but the adjustments round them up to the nearest thousand, just so it's a little cleaner, instead of taking them exactly by the dollar amount.
Oh, I see. Well, staff, I mean, it's up to your comfort level on that. If you'd like it more precise, or if you're okay with the round number.
I think I can identify the ones,
That need to be rounded up?
like the utilities could be 5,000.
Excellent.
Another ones may be the research that Sabrina asked for. Okay.
I have a question on the projects, Blanca.
Yes.
On Taco Palenque, Palenque Grill 2019, the budget was for 50,000 and amended is 50,000. I know that item didn't pass.
Yeah.
How is it the same?
That's a good question. We decided to leave it there just because it was meant for a project, but it's really up to the board's discretion. I can remove it if you want.
Just in case they come back and reword, or I know that there were some suggestions made to them, so I guess we're leaving it there in case they meet those benchmarks and get the funding.
I mean, it was already denied, right, unless they come back, but they haven't come back, which is why we left it there. But it's up to the discretion of the board if they want to leave it or if I can remove it.
But we should move it. We should leave it there.
We can leave it till the end of the, in case they come, because they were given comments in case they want to come back.
Come back and
They
meet those-
haven't, but they were given
They
comments.
still have the opportunity
to get them.
right, until the end of fiscal year.
Did you give them a timeline?
No.
No, there was no timeline, but we communicated with them and they have not reached out after that.
Can we give them a deadline and then we're moving it from there?
We can.
Maybe staff can call them and
Sure.
ask if they're gonna proceed. And if they're not, then we need to move it out.
That's fair.
Okay.
And none of these other individuals have received their funds yet?
Yes, so Vantage has been completed and Audiel Investments has been completed. So that money was already expensed.
Okay.
So that was budgeted for and expensed for. And timeline, do we want to give them a month?
I think we asked them if they have interest to come back see what their interest is, and then we can base it off of that.
I would do it 30 days. You know, tell them interest, that leaves it open.
That's fair.
30 days.
30 days works.
And they have to meet the requirements because it was about the job creation, right?
Yep.
Okay. So if they haven't met the job creation aspect of it, should, okay.
Yep, that works.
Okay, thank you.
Do we have any update on the Shane?
The latest update was provided in the last meeting during executive session. Staff and I visited the Shane project, and he had some recommendations that he wanted to bring back to the board. I did communicate to him that he can let me know when he was ready to do that, so we can schedule that. He hasn't reached out yet, but as soon as he does, I will inform the board.
Excellent.
What is the timeline on that project?
He has 2 years to complete. 6 months have passed, so about a year and a half left.
Thank you. Anybody have any more questions or comments? I'll entertain a motion for approval of the mid-year budget amendment.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right, moving on to agenda item E, discussion and possible action of sponsorship of the Edinburg Lions Club fishing tournaments.
Yes, we do have Mr. Juan Lopez. He's the Lions Club secretary here to present to the board.
Hello, everyone. Again, I'm Juan Lopez. I'm the club secretary. Just a little bit of history. The Edinburg Lions Club has been serving the community for over 80 years. We were founded in 1938. Myself, I've been a part of the Lions Club since 1990 with this particular club. And I can tell you that, throughout the years, the club has been very active in supporting the community with service projects, with scholarships. Most recently, we've been involved with the Edinburg Care Project here locally. We provide scholarships to students at all the high schools, and we also have a youth club called Robert Vela Leo Club, and we're basically encouraging them through Lions to be involved in public service. Okay. We currently meet twice a month. We meet at the restaurant called Lucha Taqueria here in Klausner. It used to be my place. We used to meet at the Echo, but then we moved from there and we wanted a place where we could have our own private room. We used to meet there before, so we are part of Lions Club International, a worldwide organization. And our global causes have to do with vision. Locally, we provide eyeglasses for children in the school district. In the past, prior to COVID, we would provide 20, 30, 40 pairs of eyeglasses. After COVID, right now, we're doing like 5 to 10, but eventually comes back. And so, that particular program. We are having our 20th anniversary fishing tournament coming up on June 11th. The Edinburg EDC has supported us in the past with our fishing tournament. Did you all get a copy of the brochure?
Yes.
Yes, sir.
Okay, so we're coming to you again to support us. And we have, as you can see in the program, there are 3 levels of sponsorships. If you decide, you can pick one of those. Of course, you also are able to participate or have some businesses that you may be working with participate in the golf tournament with your sponsorship. Okay? So, with that, that's my presentation, but before I leave the podium, it would behoove me to recognize Sabrina. We worked together many years, and we provided support for the Boys and Girls Club when she was there, and congratulate her on her new career as coach and author and best-selling author, from what I say. So with that, I ask for your consideration.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir. Do we know what EDC's sponsored in the past?
I do have that one, sir.
Do you know that, Mr. Lopez? If you could give us the shortcut?
In the past, you've sponsored us with $500.
Yes, so this is a different request. I don't think we've sponsored this event before, so this is new. But yes, he is right. We've sponsored $500 for other sponsorships for the Lions Club. And it was for the 911 golf tournament event
Okay, so
last year.
In the
they
past,
changed
okay.
events, okay.
I'm trying to see I don't see the level. Is there the level of
The levels
sponsorship
are
on here?
1,200
Yes, right,
for
the page right
admiral,
before.
Oh.
600 for captain, and 300 for first mate.
Advertising event.
Captain would be
One more entry,
in
4
par
actors.
with what has happened in the past.
I know at our last meeting, we were discussing, and Veronica brought up a good point, that we're gearing a lot towards more economic development, items, as far as donations go. However, this is on the agenda, so I will entertain anything that the council wishes.
And it's June 11th. First mate captain. So we'll get on the flyer, even as captain, right?
Even as captain.
What we've done, Aaron, is look at what we've done in the past, and I know we integrated some things with the city. What we've done in the past, we pretty much said we're going to continue that, and then look at it next year from,
Yep.
what the city's doing and what are we doing and how do we integrate that? So,
So, do you need with that in mind, do you need a motion or?
Yeah, motion.
Yeah, I'll make a motion to sponsor the captain level.
Second.
All in favor, please raise your right hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Right. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Mr.
Moving-
Lopez.
Moving on to agenda item F, discussion and possible action on sponsorship of Edinburg Police Department's 26th annual National Night Out.
Yes, we have Lieutenant Sepulveda from PD.
How you doing, Lieutenant?
Hello, and I'm Lieutenant Reynaldo Sepulveda. I want to thank you for allowing me to come and speak to you. I know that in years past, you have helped us with our National Night Out, which is coming up. It is a big event. We usually have about 4,000 to 5,000 people who do attend. We do collect money since our budget doesn't allow us to purchase and do a lot of things that the community needs. So then we go out to the community and ask for donations. And since you have always helped us out, that's why I'm here today again. So the proceeds to National Night Out, though, then go to Blue Santa, which is also another big event that we have. And you all know we participated in that for many years. I know, Ms. Walker, you with the Boys and Girls Club, and we worked together, and we gave out a lot of toys. And with the chamber, you've helped us out a lot, President, with the chamber and donating toys and stuff. So,
That's right.
so we know about Blue Santa, and that's why I'm here today. And we applied for some money, and hopefully we can receive some. Any donation is fine, as anything, and with as little money as possible, we can make it happen. So whatever you can donate would be great for us.
So this would be basically for both events, from the National Night Out and for Blue Santa together?
Right, and the reason that we start off with National Night Out is that there's expenses to National Night Out that we have to pay. But we do collect some money from National Night Out, from vendors and other activities that we do, and we don't charge the public, and we do everything is free for them, but we do have to hire bands. We do have to we'll have a pony ride this year, and we have to pay the gentleman, and that's what we have, and that's what we use the money for. but we also have vendors. Vendors do pay a fee to set up and sell their things, and usually we have about 50 vendors that go out there because not only do we have food, but we have other things that we that they sell. So it's a good event, and I'm sure, and you've seen it before, and that's what the money's for.
Definitely, I know. Personally, I've sponsored over the years as well, and it's always been an excellent event, both of them.
And it's the same rate as previous years, or is the precedent there?
Do we know if what we've given in the past?
Last year, for the Edinburg Police Department, Edinburg National Night Out event was $1,000.
So it's an increase, but it's covering 2 events, whereas last year
Yeah, as per
my
his
assumption is
comment,
it
yeah.
came back twice.
I don't remember. Was it for both events last year?
So Blue Santa was not sponsored,
Okay, so this year,
only the Edinburg National Night Out event.
okay, so this year it'll be 2 things that are being sponsored, okay.
I remember Blue Santa, it didn't work out because the city council couldn't approve it in time.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. So we need a motion?
Yes.
I make the motion to approve the amount requested.
All right.
But it
For-
covers both. It covers Blue Santa and the National Night Out, which is the $5,000.
All right. Second. All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Thank you, Lieutenant.
Okay, thank you.
Have a good day, sir. All right. Moving on to agenda item G, discussion and possible action of the sponsorship of Edinburg Chamber of Commerce, Texas Cookum events.
Yes, we have Ronnie Laralde, Executive Director of the Chamber of Commerce. He's on Zoom.
Can you hear us, Ronnie?
It's 600.
He's coming online. Ronnie, are you there? We can't hear you. He said he's getting on his phone. He's calling it.
Excuse the technical difficulties. Is he calling in?
What's the actual request amount for this one?
It's the same as last year, I believe, 15,000, or is it?
Yes,
It's the same.
he is
It's the same.
requesting. Oh, there he is. Can we hear you, Ronnie?
Ronnie?
Does the city, do you know, Dan, does the city also give to this?
Yeah, historically, it's always been EDC and city, the bigger sponsors. This is one of the big events, of course, as you know, for the city. The new venue at the Ebony was a big hit. This time we're doing it bigger and better. I see, one of our new participants in the audience, Mr. George Rice. He's gonna be helping us with a couple items there.
The city usually donates like services, like police, fire, the facility, garbage pickup, things like that, like in-kind donations.
The city, I don't remember how much we give.
So I don't believe there's a cash donation from the city. I believe it's all in-kind. I believe that's,
So he can't hear us either.
no problem. Should we move on to H while he gets it sorted?
So I think people on Zoom can hear Ronnie, but we can't hear Ronnie. IT, I don't know if that's an IT thing.
Well, let's just skip the item and see if they can figure it out.
Yeah.
We'll move forward and then until he can.
Can you hear me now, Blanca?
There we go, we got you,
Thank
Ronnie.
you.
Okay. I don't know what it was, but the other user, Kyle, could hear me online, but there wasn't a line going through to you guys.
We got you loud and clear now, Ronnie.
Okay, perfect. Well, first of all, my apologies for not being there. I'm a little under the weather. So I was doing my best to make sure I was in attendance somehow. And the rest of the staff is at an event right now that was already done or in advance. So first of all, thanks for hearing me out via Zoom. I'd love to be there in person with you guys, especially for this event and this partnership that we've had over the years. I'm speaking on behalf of Texas Cookham High Stakes in Edinburgh. This would be our 16th annual event, and like some of the board members did mention that last year we did have it at Ebony Golf Course for the first time, and I'd like to say it was a great event. We had a little over 80 cooks and around 8,000 people show up in attendance, and it was an awesome event. It was great. It was a great new location. It was free to the public, so there was a big celebration since it was the first one coming out of obviously the pandemic and the restrictions. But we're excited to have it again this year, July 2nd. And just to get a little information on Texas Cookham, this is, like I said, it's the 16th annual. In the past 4 years, we've been able to partner up with UTRGV and to award local veteran scholarships. And through the past 4 years, we've been able to distribute over a little $20,000 over in local sponsorships to our local veteran students. And we've been able to highlight the city of Edinburg for so many years with this tourism event, and we're expecting nothing less. This year we'll be bringing the purse up to $25,000 to winners, and welcoming all these cooks throughout the state, which in return come and stay in the city of Edinburgh and shop here, dine here, visit our local meat markets, and of course enjoy a great weekend event here at Ebony Golf Course. So with that said, I'll entertain any questions that you guys have.
It's been a great event for years. I think last year moving into Ebony was absolutely phenomenal. I remember going to the concert and there are thousands of people there. So Ronnie, we appreciate all the hard work you guys do.
Thank you.
Correct. Yeah, echo what Hiran said, Ronnie, and for the record, this our request today is the same amount that the EDC gives annually.
That is correct. And to answer what the city of Edinburgh does is they have an in-kind sponsorship, like Hiran was adding, was with police and trash cans and roll-offs and parks support. That's how they help us out on their end. Fire department, additional services.
Sounds good. And you don't want to make a plug for your headliner?
Definitely, yeah. I was like, I know I'm missing something. So we're excited to have a new artist, Aaron Watson. He'll be taking the stage that day. It's the first time playing here in Edinburgh, and we're also excited to have, for those Chili Pepper fans, we don't have them quite, but something very close, the Red Knot Chili Peppers. And they're a band that's coming out of California, and they're very entertaining. They look and sound exactly like the band, so we're excited to have these two artists. And of course, we have a lot of local talent that will be on display as well throughout the day.
Excellent.
Thank you, Ronnie. That's all I had.
Any more questions or comments, Ronnie? No. Thank you, Ronnie. Hope you feel better. I will entertain a motion for a $15,000 sponsorship for the Edinburgh Chamber of Commerce.
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your right hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to agenda item H, discussion and possible action of sponsorship of the RGV Partnership Small Business Week recognition luncheon.
Yes, I went ahead and put this on there. So RGB Partnership requested sponsorship from the EDC as we are, or as they are recognizing 2 of the Edinburg businesses. I did include the packet on there. And this will, I'll use this time to confirm attendance as well if we need a table or if we need individual tickets for seats.
I will be out of town.
You won't be able to make it?
I will be out of town. I will be on a cruise. I'm living my best life.
Very nice.
I can make that event. Dan, can you make it?
Yeah, I can be there also.
You think-
I'll have to verify that date.
Okay.
I can do it by tomorrow.
All right.
Yeah, we can send a follow-up email.
That'll work. So the small business here would get us a table, correct?
Yes, table of 8.
And so on the 2-minute speaking opportunity, Blanca, at the small business champion level, how would you use that? Would you highlight the local businesses that won?
Yes. And they will be there to receive their awards as well.
And will we set up the promotional materials at the table? That's also is an option under that small business champion.
The question was if we'll set up promotional
Yeah, it
materials?
says option to display promotional materials on tables.
Yeah, we have promotional
We have
materials. yeah.
that availability.
The, being it's the first time that we have a business awarded, is this just valley-wide, or what's the area?
Yeah, the small business Lower Rio Grande SBA covers all the way from Laredo to Corpus to Brownsville and everything in between. So it's all of South Texas, pretty much.
South Texas.
Yeah, from Laredo to Corpus to Brownsville.
I know we at least need a table, we can invite some of the city council, and I'm sure a few members will go.
And, we're all about business.
Yes.
So I'm okay with doing the small business champion. I will entertain a motion.
I make a motion to support this event at the small business champion level.
Second.
All those in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. All right. Agenda item I would like to entertain a motion to move it to executive so we can discuss it further.
So moved.
All in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving agenda item I to executive. All right. That being said, I'll entertain a motion to entering executive session.
I make a motion to move into executive session.
All in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. It's 4:10 p.m. We'll be entering executive session.
So just a note, we do have some representatives of the projects that we're going to discuss, so if we can ask everybody to wait outside while we go into executive.
Perfect.
And I'll do the same for Zoom.
We appreciate you, y'all. We'll bring y'all in one at a time to present. It's 6:24 p.m. I will entertain a motion to re-enter open session.
So moved.
All in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries. No action was taken in executive session. I do have one item up for other business. It's the time of our meetings. We've been requested to ask, if we wanted to change the time of our meetings to 5 p.m. or 6 p.m. I know there's other concerns of individuals not being able to attend our meetings because it's during work hours, but I wanted to gauge our board's opinion before we made any changes. So currently they're at 4 p.m. On Tuesdays on average. Today was a rare day where we started at 3, but we do post it and record it. So Rita, I'll let you, give your comments first.
My comment would be maintaining the meeting at 4 o'clock. That's my comment. I think that we're open to hear citizens and be available for that. And as long as it's not in violation of Texas Open Meeting Act, I maintain 4 o'clock.
I will say that, make sure we look at our bylaws and keep in consideration that we don't want the public to be able to attend our meetings. So 6 o'clock, like city council meetings, would be my suggestion. Not that I want to be here late another Tuesday of my life, but I think we should just look at the option and see if we're not violating anything that way.
I concur with 4 o'clock, maintaining the way we are, with some flexibility as specific things that may come up.
I did ask other board members who are not here. Am I allowed to speak on what they've told me?
On what other board members have told you?
Yeah, on
Sure.
regards to this question.
You can pass along the message.
Okay, so,
Hopefully it's accurate and they can always correct it if it's not.
excellent. Roland has said that he's okay with a 5 p.m. start time because he does work a little bit. He works in another city to getting over here. And Ronnie Rivera has said that he prefer to keep it at 4 p.m. As far as my concerns, I'm okay with 4 o'clock start time. We do have individuals who are on this list who schedule their meetings in advance. So most of those citizens speaking on that will have the time in advance to choose when they can speak. So with that being said, I believe we have a majority wanting to keep it at 4 o'clock as of right now, and we could reevaluate in the future based on what everyone else decides on the bylaws. You asked a question on the bylaws?
Yeah, just verify.
Everything verified. All right. Anybody else have any more questions or comments on that? And then Veronica did not answer me on the question, so I do not know her opinion. All right. Well, with that being said, I'll entertain a motion for adjournment.
Make the motion to adjourn.
Second.
All in favor, please raise your hand. Any opposed, same sign. Motion carries at 6:27 p.m. and concludes our meeting for today. Thank you, everyone. Go Vaqueros.